Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector, and welcome to, well, the second month of the Rockman Mega Man anniversary stuff. And this week, after concluding last week and the debacle with that, hope you watched the repair video afterward. Well, this week, it's Blues.EXE, or Protoman.EXE. Personally, I prefer, well, since we're doing the Japanese toy, I'm probably going to refer to him as Blues during most of this. If I do call him Protoman, it's probably, well, you know, obvious reasons. And he only has one little damage point that I can't do anything about, and that's the actual piece of plastic that's on the joint that's actually coming off that way. It's been like that for a very long time. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But yeah, he has the leg articulation. And no, I'm not going to try to, you know, replace his legs with someone else's legs. Because we already know how that turned out. I'm never doing it again, ever. Arms are another story, though. So are heads. Yeah. And he has the same articulation as the others. So yeah. Although for some reason his ankles seem to be a little bit smoother. Oop, careful. And you really can't get his elbows to bend forward without mismatching his colors there. Oh well. And he comes with his standard proto sword, or, you know, just plain sword. The arm holding hand, which, well, for Blues it's completely pointless. This, well, Knight Sword? I don't know what the Japanese name. I have not watched the Japanese version of the anime in a while, and I obviously can't read Japanese. So, for the sake of, you know, for the sake of that, I'm just going to call this the Knight Sword. And he came with an extra head, which has his battle mask. And he has two, obviously custom to him, left and right holding things hands to hold something very special. The Muramasa. Which you can just... Now you can make him hold it two-handed, obviously, or just one-handed. Or, you know what, let's just make him hold the Muramasa first. And change his fists. Because, you know, what's the point of having fists when he already has a weapon that he can hold with his hands? So let's try to, and you know what, while we're at it, why not change his head? And, you know, he has hair. White, fishy hair. So we're just going to yank that right off and give him a giant bald spot on the back of his head. Pop his first head off. Give him the one with the battle mask. If I can get it to fit securely. And the hair goes into a little slot right there. Anytime now. And like so. He is now wearing his battle mask. As I was saying, you could make him hold it single-handed, which is how I prefer to make him hold it. Whoa! Whoa! And it is one of his longer weapons. Yeah, the Night Sword is actually his biggest weapon. Because of how wide it is. Oh, sorry about that. Had to adjust the camera just a little bit. And oh. And here he is with his default sword. The one that can go wide, long, or extra long if you have ever played any of the games. This is his default weapon, and he is very deadly with it. He also has a shield, but I don't know where he puts it. Well, he has a shield in the games. He never uses one in the show. In the anime, he pretty much just dodges about and uses speed and agility to get out of the way. And he is pretty fast in the games, too. Even faster when he gets upgraded V1, V2, EX, SP versions. He's especially dangerous as FZ and DS. And if you've ever played 4, the worst game ever, Blues or Protoman.EXE will murder you. Because random encounters shouldn't be against, you know, an average enemy that you could take on. No, it has to be the strongest thing we could possibly spawn. Brilliant. And here he is again, holding the Muramasa, going to put it into a two-handed position, which this kind of became his signature weapon in the middle of the EXE manga. It even gave him a sort of style change to go with it, which, you know, I'd rather not talk about because it's far more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, it's not that complicated. What happens is, let's see. Neto and Rockman are advancing leaps and bounds and already have the Saito style unlocked, which gives them perfect synchro. Ensign and Blues are not happy about being overshadowed by some grade school kid who isn't a professional or anything, so they go out really, really deep into the undernet or the internet or a net, wherever. They fight some big powerful thing, they get this sword, and bam, they have their own style change, which only lasts 2 volumes of the manga. Or, I don't even think it's that, it might only just be 1 volume. Either way, this was his weapon of choice in the manga, aside from this. Gonna put his fists back, even though, you know, the whole sword thing. And he also came with this bunny. They don't do anything, the little virus thing. This was actually introduced in Battle Network 2 and kind of became a mainstay until 6. Or was it 5? I don't remember if these things are in 5 or not. All I know is that the weapon they give you sucks. Or the chip they give you sucks. Zap Ring is terrible. Don't use it. Well, Zap Ring 3 is actually kind of decent, so is 2, but the starter one and Elect Style and Thunder Soul all suck. They suck. I cannot emphasize that enough. And, yeah. Here's his little dice cube chip thing, HP 30, whatever that means. Something HP 30, and it apparently has a cost of 13p, or does 13p damage, or whatever. Like I said, I never played this, I never got the cube thing. And here's his box. Muramasa. Oh, Knight Sword and Sword. There's him with a few other equips. I'm not gonna do them. There's all of his equipment. Here's him standing there, hands, alternate head, and details that I can't read you. And, you know, just for continuity's sake, and for the fandom, I suppose, if you know the relation between these three things, between those two swords and the Navi using them, then you're as good a player as I am. Although technically this one should probably be in the shot too, and this stuff shouldn't be. So yeah, you know if you know what this means, then you know your stuff. Very good. And yeah, I'll just put his hands back, and yeah, I'll give him back his head. And this was released, I think, around, yes, during the Battle Network 2 era, along with the rest of them. It did see a re-release, though, and, well, you already know how the re-releases kind of came out, considering what happened to Aqua Custom, and the repair I did to him, leaving him in a statuesque state, at least on one leg. Granted, he does have the lower knee joint, which is lovely, but still, I'm not willing to risk doing anything else with him. So that has been this week of the series. I will see you next week for the last of these figures. And yeah, the last guy is kind of cranky and a bit of a jerk. But people love him anyway, and what he has to offer. So I will see you all next week. Later.